The coming day destroys everything: dreams, the future, relationships with people, and more. A cruel and cold world throws you into despair, and in the end your choice is death. Mr. X says today your whole life will be reset, and you'll get a chance to start anew. If you are willing to pledge your life and take part in the game, then the game will begin. Han-Ra was abandoned by all of her parents. Her aunt gave up raising her because she had other children to raise, and she doesn't know where to get the strength to support her either. Talks began that it would be better if Han-Ra didn't exist, that she was only in a bus. Han-Ra is used to fighting her own hardships. She has no one to help her. Han-Ra received a letter from her deceased father, telling her to come to 30:12 Han-Ra assumed it sounded like nonsense, but the letter had the word 30 in it that only she and her father knew about. It might be a cruel joke, but she should try it. When Han-Ra and her father, who was a photographer, used to wander around the neighborhood taking pictures of abandoned buildings, they made one of them their secret base. The first X was on the entrance, the second X was on the telephone pole that you can see by turning into the alley, and the last X was at the very end of the alley, on the door of their secret hideout. On the door of the hideout was a card that read, "Dear you, Han-Ra. Opening this door will automatically make you a member of the Zero Gauntlet, and you cannot return until you finish it. This game is not so harmless. You may die before you reach the end, but will you dare to enter no matter what? To change your life, you have to put your life on the line. Once you start, you can't refuse. Once you enter, you can die." Han-Ra thinks there's no reason to doubt whatever she chooses, no matter where she goes. Even if she dies, it won't get any worse. She opens the door and a light begins to shine, and she enters some kind of world like heaven. A voice from above saying, "You Han-Ra, there is an opportunity for you to start from scratch and change your life. I'm giving you a chance to participate in the Zero game." When Han-Ra opens the door, Han-Ra is automatically a participant in the Zero game. She cannot return without finishing it. Han-Ra sees another card which tells her what the base ability is. At that time something grabs hold of her leg and pulls on it. Han-Ra then fully realized that it wasn't paradise. In front of her she saw a purple monster that was eating human flesh. This is exactly how she imagined her death, but she realized that she didn't want to die at all. Beak Shinwoo kills the monster and tells Han-Ra that she was freed from one hell to go to another. Beak Shinwoo says that Han-Ra finally realized that she wants to live, but it's a shame that she realized it too late. If Han-Ra came here, it means she's suffered a lot in her life. If she can withstand the trials she's prepared for, she'll be able to be happy, but if she can't, death will be waiting for her. Beak Shinwoo asked, "Does she still want to die?" Han-Ra said in tears that she wants to live. Beak Shinwoo smiled and asked her to survive this hellish game first. Rita came to Mr. X to report the top 5 of the monthly rankings. On the sheet were all the top positions based on the number of lives earned. This list of top 5 monthly rankings included: 5th place Chu Fa ran 1,356 lives. First game level, 4th place Beak Shinwoo 1,782 lives. Third level, 3rd place Love Me 2,132 lives not yet received level. 2nd place J 2,785. 5th game level, 1st place Beak San 4,120 lives. 5th game level. Mr. X has been hearing the same names for 6 months. They are connected, but something tells him that this afternoon the balance of power in the game will finally change and this achievement has collapsed. A conversation arises between Beak Shinwoo and Han-Ra about summoning lightning. Beak Shinwoo tries to explain to Han-Ra that if you compare it to reality, it's bought with money, but not with coins and bills used in the real world, but a special currency called life, since lives can be used to buy abilities, weapons, and other things. The fastest way to get life: perform tasks NPC player character, controlled, most often, by an AI, serves for the player's interaction with the virtual world. Beak Shinwoo asked Han-Ra if she received the strange letter and map before she got here, which means she got into the game and became a player. The player interaction with the virtual world leads to the game and gives you quests. Eventually the one who reaches the end goes through the whole game and eventually meets the game master. Then he grants the winner a wish and changes his life, and that's the end of the game. Han-Ra asked Beak Shinwoo what would happen to the others who couldn't finish the game, and Beak Shinwoo said, "I guess they'd all die." Then Beak Shinwoo suddenly asked Han-Ra to look at him and said, "You seem to be misunderstanding the situation. Didn't the letter you received say that by participating in the game you're putting your life on the line? Which means you should be prepared to die from the moment you received the letter and came here," and then added, "if anyone asks you for payment for your help." Then Han-Ra asked Beak Shinwoo why he's helping her. "I'm not supposed to win this game to begin with, and if I stay alive that'll be enough." Han-Ra suggested continuing to the neutral zone, and looking at Beak Shinwoo shouted, "What's wrong with you?" He said he's a bit overexcited and exhausted. and that he's near the neutral zone, and Hanra said please hold on and offered to help. Baek Shin-woo smiled and said he has a way and suggested to form a group and enter into a temporary alliance. Baek Shin-woo and Hanra continued playing together, and then Baek Shin-woo said, "You're really stupid. I told you not to trust anyone here, so I used you rookies like you constantly get tricked and die. These rules weren't my idea, so don't hate me too much." Hanra was furious. "Everything I've lost will come back. I'll fight to the very end and stay alive and win this game." Hanra deflected Baek Shin-woo's blow, and he wondered how many points it would take. "She's smart and has good instincts." Baek Shin-woo suggested they try to be a good team again. Chu Fa-ran and Baek Sang saw their younger brother in the distance. Rita says, "Mr. Zero, didn't you allocate them because base lives are allocated automatically?" Mr. X asked Rita to prepare a list of all players whose base number of lives exceeded 10,000. Zero game to the neutral zone. There is a ban on PvP player versus player, the ability of the player to attack each other according to the rules of the game. Hanru called Baek San and Chu Fa-ran and asked if she was on the team with Baek Shin-am, and was told that Baek Shin's basic ability is accelerated regeneration. He can use it once every 24 hours and heal from any damage you've done. He probably faked his death in front of you on purpose to see how you do next. They say Baek Shin killed all their allies, and that's why they're looking for him. Baek Sun wants to finish and kill Baek Shin. Hanra finds his card, which says he has the mirror reflection ability, so he knows what he's doing but attacks and uses up his base ability. Hanra takes matters into his own hands and tells Baek Sang that he wants to kill him herself, so he'll give him the opportunity. Hanra approaches Baek Shin-woo and offers to team up again and slay them together. He's attacked by a creature he can't deal with alone. Hanra gives the crowbar to Baek Shin-woo. They now have a temporary alliance. The battle between Baek Shin-woo and Baek Sang begins, and then during the battle, they are thrown back and a voice is uttered. "Hello players, I'm Rita. I'm here to report a change in the rankings. First place goes to Hanra, possessing 20,000 lives. And so, the players who previously received a base life of more than 10,000 were 4. Ihana 15,060 lives, Util 12,000 lives, Kim Woo-chin 13,500 lives. And among the surviving players is Baek Shin-woo. Even though Baek Shin-woo is no longer in first place, how did the others manage to die with such superiority? Even though it happened before I became a master of the game, I should be worried about it, Master X said. Hanra was at the top of the list. Chu Fa-ran dropped out of the top 5 ranking and was deprived of her privileges. The award for the first place Revival Stone. Hanra became the owner of the Revival Stone. Rita announced that the contestants were to listen to information about the changes made by the new patch. From now on, all neutral zones will be eliminated. There will be a PvP system in every location. The cancellation of PvP will be at the discretion of the game master, after which players will be notified via NPC characters. Baek Shin-woo is outraged that the update was done so suddenly. Hanra's forced teleport triggers and Baek Shin-woo is teleported. Chu Fa-ran offers to hunt, but Sang Oppa replies that there's no need now. We'll just go to where they subsequently arrive and wait for them there. Baek Shin-woo sends a complaint to the game master. Since he allows the teleporter to be used in this way, let him pay compensation. Baek Shin-woo and Hanru are teleported to Baek Shin's house. Hanra was quite surprised. Baek Shin-woo said impressively, "You were born under a lucky star. Fortune clearly favors you from your first minutes in the game. And the basic ability of mirror reflection, and first place in the ranking with a huge lead over the other players. Wow, is that really possible? Even if it's the daughter of a game master?" Hanra disgruntledly said that there was no place for such remarks now. But Baek Shin didn't let that stop him, and told her he was even luckier to be in an alliance with her, and that if they both get killed, they'll get the lives of the 1st and 5th ranked leaders at once. Furthermore, although she possesses 20,000 lives, she has no abilities other than the base one. Hundreds of players with glowing eyes are just waiting for us to show up. And we're just a walking lottery for those who want to get rich, and that's just the way it is in life. Once their basic abilities are upgraded, they need to invade the neutral zone. Hanra is shocked. She can't believe that Baek Shin would want to invade a tiger's den. Baek Shin says that she's making too much noise and that the first thing she needs to do is to get a skill from a shop in the middle of the neutral zone so he can fight to protect her even if we're attacked. Hanra answers that Baek Shin is right, but how will they get to that shop? No matter how much she ponders it, she thinks we'll be finished off on the way. There's one very useful feature among the features available in the group, and that feature is body swap. But for that, you have to trust each other completely. Baek Shin asks Hanra if he trusts him enough to trust his body. Hanra holds out his hand and tells him that if he dies he can't get away with it that easily. And the main feature of the body swap is that the base ability and skill is also transferred to the new body. The plan for the exchange was that they would go their separate ways. She, becoming me, would go straight through the main entrance, hiding from no one, and would be attacked from all sides. Since every dog here knows his face, the weaker players team up and attack everyone who tries to pass through the main entrance at the same time, ignore them, and, as soon as their fire reaches her, use your mirror reflection ability. Reflect all attacks directed at you. The others will be so scared when they see this that they won't dare to do anything. In the meantime, I'll head for the other entrance and make my way to the skill shop in your body. Then they'll activate the body swap feature again and go back to their original state. She'll be waiting for me in the shop, safe, and I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. This is the first part of our combat operation. But there's a problem in the second part. Once you're in a crowded place, you're likely to run into Beak Shin, and there's a good chance that Beak Shin has a clue about our plan. There's an attack on Beak Shin going on.